What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Jumping into this episode of GH. Who told the writers it would be a good idea to have a party for Peter? What was the point? I'm just saying, what was the point of having this party? Like, you only had 5 people there and 2 extras, probably from the invader. So what was the point? Like, it was, I mean, the gesture was nice of Maxie to throw a surprise party, but you shut down the Floating Rib, lost money for a party that you could have had at Maxie's apartment. For the amount of people that was there, they really could have had it in the living room of Maxie's apartment. I'm just saying. There was no need to shut down an entire spot for 5 people to have a birthday party that you could have had at someone's home. I'm just saying. Maxie was totally over the top about the whole cake pie situation, all because Peter wanted some pie. So that doesn't mean he doesn't like cake. I just wish that they would find something more for Maxie to do, because if this is it, I feel bad for Kirsten Storms. I'm just saying. They need to do something more with Maxie. She's been around for years. She's a legacy character. Do something better with her. I'm just saying. Then keep having her tied to Peter's apron strings every 5 seconds. And talking about bringing Dante home. Like, you can't find nothing better for her? She is the creative director of a magazine. She has 2 children. Surely you can use that as a storyline. I'm just saying. Like, do something other than this. Because this ain't working. Throwing some little stupid birthday party that shouldn't even be happening for somebody in town that doesn't really have any friends, and you're shutting down a restaurant for that? No. I'm like, the only reason Finn was even at the party mainly was because Anna wasn't there. He only went for her. You know, they had Lulu at the party. She ain't got nothing better to do. Mac and Felicia was at the party. They were mainly there to support Maxie. That's it. If it wasn't for Maxie, I doubt they would have been there. It was just a know-nothing party. Like I said, the gesture was nice, but we didn't need to see it. I'm just saying, they could have used this screen time for something else. Like this little baby switch storyline, we could have, used that screen time for this to move that further along, maybe. I'm just saying. So anyway, something else that was stupid. The seance. I get a headache thinking about it. What the hell? Listen, I agreed with Cameron 100% today when he was like, he was totally against doing this seance. And I agreed. I felt like it was stupid. Then, they sitting there reminiscing about Oscar and stuff like that, which is cool. But when Cameron and Trina left, I didn't even understand why Trina was even indulging this foolishness. Like, why was she encouraging this seance? Like, why? If you're a real friend like Cameron, you would tell her that the seance was stupid. Like, there's no point in doing it. But I guess. It looked like somebody was watching Jocelyn from outside the window or whatever. Now, either it's the ghost of Oscar or she has a peeping Tom. I'm just saying. I just felt like the whole thing was a waste of time. It was like, okay, you're doing a seance. Okay. Like, I feel bad for Jocelyn because she really loved Oscar, but, I do agree with Cameron. Like, you have to move on. Find a way to move on. I know it's hard for her, but you need to go see a therapist maybe, see Dr. Neil maybe. I don't know, but she clearly is going to need some type of professional help to help her get over this. Maybe go see a life coach. Well, I feel like she's too young for a life coach, because a life coach is for people to obviously help get their life together. She don't need her life together. She just needs to move on from Oscar right now. Obviously she's never going to forget about Oscar, which is, fine, but you just need to move on. Like, seriously. Hopefully. So anyway, moving on from that. Julian, I'm going to tell you right now, Julian has been super good to Kim during their relationship and stuff. He's bringing her groceries. When he found out she was back from Kilimanjaro, he brought her some groceries, bought her some burgers from his bar. Like, that was nice of him. Kim is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, she's basically telling Julian she want to have a baby with him. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Julian ain't trying to have no more kids. I'm sure he's not. He has enough. He doesn't want any more. Julian already got 3 kids, one of whom can't stand him. Another one, he's trying to rebuild that relationship, and he has a smaller one. So I doubt he wants more children. I doubt it. I feel like Kim is another one who needs professional help. She needs help. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I just think she needs professional help because look at the way she's talking. Like, you're talking about having another baby, and I feel like she's trying to have another baby to replace the child she just lost, and that's not good. Well, nobody can ever replace Oscar, but that's the way I see it. Like, you just want another kid to fill that void that Oscar left, and that's not good. It's really not good. Like, she needs to see a therapist as well to help her move on from Oscar. Because, like I said, it's going to be harder for her to move on from Oscar because for 15 years, it was just her and Oscar. And now she doesn't have him anymore. So it's hard for her to just move on from that. But she's going to have to try, And a new baby is not the answer to that problem. It's definitely not. It's not the answer to it. Like, even Julian was looking at her like, okay. I don't blame him. Like, Julian, he ain't trying no more kids. So, anyway, moving on from that. So, Curtis is still trying to figure out this whole hospital bill mess. So, basically, the insurance is going to cover the transplant, the kidney transplant, the surgery. It's going to cover that. What it's not going to cover is the surrounding stuff. Her hospital stay, the medications. It's not going to cover any of that. Probably the blood work. It ain't going to cover none of that stuff, which is thousands of dollars. So it's not going to cover that. Nina offered to pay. He turned her down. Drew offered yet again to pay the medical bills. Because remember, a while back when she first got into the hospital, he offered to pay. Curtis keeps telling him no. So Drew offered him a job, as a security analyst or something like that for Aurora Media. And Curtis sitting there talking about, I got to think about it. What do you mean you got to think about it? What is there to think about? I wish I was in Curtis' position because you got to be crazy. First of all, jobs are hard to come by. I'm just saying. They are. Especially good ones. And you're going to sit there and say, I got to think about it. What is there to think about? I'm pretty sure it pays very well. And you can still do your PI stuff on the side. So that's even extra money right there. So what is there for you to think about? Take the offer, dum-dum. Y'all the ones sitting there stressing about how y'all going to pay this high hospital bill. There's the answer to your problem. You got 2 people who are very wealthy, very rich, offering to pay your hospital bills, which I'm pretty sure is probably maybe a few $100,000 maybe, and they're multimillionaires. They can easily pay that, and you turn them down, which I totally understand because, some people are just proud and they don't like to accept money from people, which is understandable, but don't be too proud. I'm just saying, like, you not only got 2 offers to pay your hospital bill, but you also got a good job offer, and you need to think about it. Take the job. What is there to think about? Ugh. I swear, only on TV would they be doing this, because in real life, ain't nobody taking that much time to think. They would have said, hell yeah, immediately. I feel bad for Drew, too. Moving on without his son that he just found out about a couple of years ago. Like, it's hard for him. He doesn't know where to go next, what to do next. He just doesn't know what life has in store for him now. But, my thinking is, you still have another child, your daughter. You still have a company to run. You still have life. You still have family. Your mom, Michael. You still got a whole bunch of family. Ned. You got a whole bunch of family. You got a whole lot of life. You have another child that you need to be there for. You know what I mean? There's ways to, it's going to be hard to move on from the loss of a child, but never ask the question of what do I do next? No, there's plenty to do next. You have a company, you have another child, you have other family. There's plenty to do next. Plenty, plenty. Trust me, I understand, Oscar's passing was hard on him and Kim, but life still moves on. You still have a lot of life left in you and a lot left to live for. You have a lot to live for. So hopefully he knows that. I hope he don't decide to, sell off his shares of Aurora Media and just move out of town or something. I hope he don't. Even though the stuff surrounding Billy Miller right now, possibly leaving, I just hope that they can come up with something good to make him stay and write something good for him, a good story. Because Billy Miller, that's somebody that you really don't want to lose. He's a very good actor. You don't want to lose him. And there's a lot of story potential for the character of Drew. Plenty of story potential. Get him involved in this DOD stuff. Get him his memories back. Let him figure out what Shiloh did years ago to him. Let him figure that out. Like, there's plenty for him to do right now. And in the future, if you are creative enough to write it. There's plenty for him to do. I'm just saying. So I'm happy. My boy Max Scorpio is temporarily back as police commissioner. I'm happy about it. I really am. I wish it was permanent. It's been 7 years since Mac was police commissioner. But I think he did a good job when he was police commissioner. I really do hate that it's temporary. I really do. I think he can serve as a great police commissioner. But he does have a life. He made a new life for himself outside of being a cop. He got the floating rib now. He's a granddad now. He's just enjoying that time, his new chapter in life. He did create a very good new chapter in life. So I don't see him wanting to leave it permanently. But who's to say he has to leave it, Felicia could still handle the floating rib while he's doing full-time duty at the PCPD. That wouldn't be too bad. But I'm happy that he's back, though. Laura didn't have to twist his arm. Because I think he does. A big part of him misses being a commissioner. I think a big part of him misses it. I don't think this is going to be as easy as Laura thinks it is. Because I have a feeling that if Jordan has to stay out longer, I don't think Mac is going to be all that willing. Once he get more acclimated to the position again, I don't think he's going to probably want to leave it. That's my hope. I don't think he will. I think he might want to fight and stay on as commissioner because he might get back into the groove of it. It's been 7 years. So once he gets back into the swing of running the department again, I think he might want to make it a permanent and might lobby to stay. Because there's no telling how long Jordan's going to be out of commission. She could be out for a while, and it might be enough for Mac to really make a difference in the department and decide that he wants to stay. You never know. That's my hope. That's my wish. But anyway, moving on from that. Valentine. He just doesn't quit. Like, he basically trying to buy Jax out of Aurora Media. First of all, Drew would hate for Valentine to be his business partner. Drew would hate it. Furthermore, he keeps talking about how he did this, basically talking like he did a bunch of research on Jax already. Oh, you're a corporate raider. You buy up companies and you turn them around and, you make them profitable and then you sell and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, duh, that's what a corporate raider does. Like Jack said, people flip houses. He flip companies. That's what he does. He buys struggling companies, rebuild them, make them into powerhouse companies, and then he sell and make a huge profit. That's what corporate raiders do. They raid companies, make them big, make them profitable, and you sell it at a huge profit. Duh. But what was so funny was he felt like Jax didn't care about Crimson. I'm like, well, clearly you didn't do extensive research. Because if you did, you would know that Jax was the original investor of Crimson and one of his best friends was the founding owner of Crimson. So he has a great deal of respect and love for Crimson. He doesn't want to see it fail. But this is all Valentine's jealousy talking. That's all it is. He's jealous of Jax because he feels like she's slipping away. And he blames that on Jax. Yeah, it's not Jax's fault. Your fiance loves her career. And I'm glad Nina basically kind of put Valentine in his place, like letting him know she would hate to work for Valentine because she feels like she needs to work for somebody or with someone who's not going to just okay every idea that she has. Because you see how Valentine is. He thinks every idea Nina has is a brilliant idea. And that's what she does not want. She doesn't want a yes man. I mean, who wants a yes man around him? You want somebody who's going to call you out on your stuff. Tell you, no, I don't think you should do this. No, I think that's a bad idea. You don't want nobody to come around and say, oh, Should I play in traffic? Yeah, you should play in traffic. I think that's a brilliant idea. You know, should I microwave this with aluminum foil on it? Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. See, you don't want nobody around you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want that? So I don't blame Nina. You know, Nina loves her career. She's very wealthy. She doesn't have to work. But the mere fact that she wants to work because, you know, she just wants to be independent and be her own person. She could sit around all day and spend money if she wants. She chooses not to, which I actually admire. You know, she just wants to do something that she can be happy with. And I think that's what a lot of people look for, you know, a career that they're going to be happy with, you know, God knows. So, of course, you know, she was telling Valentine about why she wanted to push the wedding back because of Crimson. So Valentine being Valentine just can't leave well enough alone. So he calls Curtis to basically get all the information he can on Jax. That's what I don't understand. It seems to me Valentine already did his research on Jax. What more do you need to find out about him? You're not going to find anything that you can use against him, so that's not going to work. So it was good to see Jax and Laura together, you know, catching up a little bit. But he wanted some information of his own on Valentine. And we all know how Laura feel about Valentine. She hates the man. With good reason. I mean, he did kill her son, allegedly. Because we don't know if Nick is actually dead. But she was basically trying to tell Jax to be careful, caution himself against Valentine. What I find funny is that Jax has no care for Valentine. Like, he's not intimidated by him. He has a very nonchalant attitude when people keep warning him about Valentine. Like, even Alexis kind of cautioned him about him. And he's very nonchalant about him. And, you know, Laura basically told Jax, like, you know, don't, you know, regret, you know, not keeping a close eye on Valentine. But Jax is talking like he has something on Valentine. Like, he has some information on Valentine already. Because he's very confident. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to underestimate somebody. And I feel like Jax is kind of underestimating them. But then again, the way Jax talk with that swagger and the confidence makes me think that he has a card up his sleeve that he's not revealing yet. That's the vibe that I get from him. Like, he knows something he just ain't saying. Maybe he does. Who knows? You know? You never know with Jax. He's a smart person. I'm pretty sure he does his homework very well on people. You never know what he hiding. But anyway, this was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. I really did. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see y'all all later. Peace.